And the Modi government's unprecedented digital strike on China seems to have riled the opposition. After India banned 59 Chinese apps, the Congress now claims that even the Namo app should be banned as it apparently violates the privacy of its users. This comes even as China is rattled by the move and has attempted to threaten India.
BJP's commitment to India's sovereignty and integrity reeks of hypocrisy and lacks seriousness. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, India's symbol of sovereignty and integrity. Even his statue was made by China under the orders of the BJP government. BJP must explain why 553 large bronze boards were imported from China as per the CAG report. BJP must apologize and shun its Make in India on TV and buy from China in reality policy.
An injured nation wants much more than symbolism. This is nothing but shallow symbolism. Is it going to help us? Where are we heading? Call Parliament immediately, share everything, let's discuss it, and let's collectively think with a collective mind, with a collective resolute. I think that is much more important. I would have actually been little more happy if the Honorable Prime Minister and his team had decided that each money which has come in PM CARES fund from any Chinese sources whatsoever should be given back. Why not do that?
We are living in a digital world, and even our Prime Minister keeps speaking about digital India. In such a situation, how far this measure is going to serve the purpose of ending the present standoff between India and China? We do not know how government has come to such assessment.
I really do not know how the government is going to enforce the banning of 59 Chinese apps. These apps are already on the phones of people. Now, the government's order cannot wipe off all the apps from the individual telephones calls. This is a ban which is not enforceable at all. Let India indulge in surgical strikes against China. BJP government believes in jingoism, in raising the pitch against China. I do not believe in jingoism, I believe in nationalism.
All right, let's go right across to our guests who are joining us. Sudesh Verma, political analyst, is with us. On the available live with us. We also are joined by Prateek Kaur, a TikToker and celebrity manager, and also, in fact, a founder of Celebistan, joining us live from Delhi. Sarah Shah Halim, theatre personality and activist, is joining us from a WhatsApp video. Tausif Ahmed, the political analyst, is also with us. But let me begin with you first, Sudesh Verma, BJP spokesperson, and ask you, the question ultimately is this, that the opposition is alleging or asking a question of what will this entire move achieve. They're saying it's too little too late. Your response to that?
You see, it would be better if they go by what the government is saying rather than trying to see any politics into it. And the government has said that it is because of security considerations, defense considerations, and also privacy of individuals. Then they should trust, because this has been done after proper investigation of the whole issue. Otherwise, you see, entire Chinese apps would have been banned. It has not been done. Like PUBG, which is a gaming app, that continues. So is the case with MI, that manufactures cell phone here. They also have apps that is also allowed. So some apps, 59, which are found to be security sensitive, these have been banned. And I heard that some people were saying that how it will be implemented. All the ISPs, internet service providers, will be asked to not beam these apps, and also Play Store will be told not to keep these apps for India. So it is possible. It's not that, the government of India cannot implement just because you have it in your phone, it cannot be done. Of course, that will be dead. You are having the apps, but that won't work. So, and you see, it's not also economic reason, because India is not a banana republic. You have to do anything through a system. You cannot go on scrapping the contract just because you want. We are a part of the global economic system, so we have to do whatever we do through a proper process.
Let me get
And here we found it out and we have done it.
in Saira Shah Halim. Saira Shah Halim, now there is a system that has to be followed, says Sudesh Verma, and that system is currently being followed. But we all know what has happened. As far as the border is concerned, it works on multiple levels. They are saying that there are privacy concerns, there are security concerns, and there are national security concerns which have been made even in the parliament, and now action is just being taken on that basis.
Okay, see, I'm all for vocal for local and everything it's all right. But this banning 59 apps, okay, is it enough to safeguard the sovereignty and the borders of the country? Because if you look at the FDI, so Mr. Modi has, spent a considerable amount of time opening up huge Chinese FDIs that actually open India's market and companies. And we need to know why is it still there on Play Store, and whether this ban is an interim ban or is it supposed to be a ban on order, because it looks like an interim ban. Because
but there are some apps, Saira Shah Halim, interesting that you mentioned it, because I just got a message just a few minutes ago which very clearly shows the kind of process that exists on the screens. And if I can just show it to you, in fact some viewers are saying this is the message that is coming in. User noticed, dear users, we are in the process of complying with the government of India's directive to block 59 apps. Ensuring the privacy and security of all our users in India remains our utmost priority. So it's already started happening. This is what users are beginning to send us, the screenshots of certain apps which are in that list of 59. So it has started happening, but the question, Saira Shah Halim, still remains is this is perhaps part of a message that India is trying to send out. No other country has been able to take action against China. If India is taking decisive action at a time when there are diplomatic negotiations going on, military negotiations going on, why not?
Fine, great. All that is great. I agree with you. Like I said, I'm iterating once again. I am completely vocal for local, but we need to get a reality check, because whatever is happening right now is not enough. Considering that we have lost our 20 army braves, we need to send out a resounding message to China, because they cannot mess with our borders as well as the sovereignty and integrity of our country. And that is something that cannot be compromised with.
Okay,
Rest is an eyewash. It is mere jingoism.
Okay.
Because if you look at it, if you look at the stakes China has.
Yeah, all right. Let me bring in some of our other.
It's not even a top generator. It's not even a top generator.
Some of our most downloaded apps are certainly from China, and the top 10 apps, I believe, at least 5 or 6 are of origin of China. Let me bring in Pratik also, who's joining us, is TikToker and a celebrity manager, in fact, as far as TikTok is concerned. Pratik, what do you make of this decision? Because many are saying that there are other alternatives in India that we perhaps could look at.
I can say I don't know about the borders, but I must say borders and the soldiers are the great loss for the country. We lost a lot of soldiers in the China war, but again I'll say it's a loss for the government has taken a huge step to ban TikTok in India, because a lot of youngsters and peoples are on TikTok, around 250 million users, and they lost jobs, right? They are working over there and making contents daily. They wake up early and make TikToks. They sleep, before they sleep they make TikToks, and they are earning lakh of rupees. My only influencers are earning around per annum 6 crore rupees, 50 lakh rupees per month, and they are just 16 or 17 years of age. So they lost around 50 lakh rupees per month. So it's a huge loss for the country, peoples also, and they left the employment. But I know our government is strong enough. They have to be patient, and government will take a decision, and they will get employed as soon as possible. But they lost hopes, because there are many children who are on TikToks and they wanted to be the star. They lose that hope, because if we see earlier 3 or 4 years back, there are many production houses and
certainly there are other options, as you mentioned. We'll have to see how those options really work out. But I want to bring in Tausif Ahmed. Tausif Ahmed, you saw Prithviraj Chavan. He's a former Minister of State in the Prime Minister's office. He's a former Chief Minister of Maharashtra. But he's coming out and saying that if there are concerns about the privacy as far as these 59 apps are concerned, then you also have to be concerned about the Namo app. Now, is that really fair for someone who has been in government at the center to make that comparison? Because there is a context to what has happened as far as those 59 apps are concerned. Is that a fair question to even ask at this time when we are standing eyeball to eyeball with China at the border?
It becomes absolutely fair if the government tries to defend its step by saying that there are actually security concerns. If security concerns are with regard to these 59 apps, then there could be security concerns with regard to other apps. You see, what is the government responding to right now? There has been a military action by China. We have lost 20 soldiers, admittedly. So many soldiers have been injured. Then should we not give them a military reply? Should we not launch a surgical strike on the Chinese? Instead of doing that, Prime Minister is telling us that, look, we are responding to China by blocking these 59 apps. All right, very good. You're showing that you're doing something, but Mr. Prime Minister, this is not enough. What we want to see is a strong military action, a strong military message to deter China from indulging in any misadventure towards Indian borders or Indian territories or against Indian Jawan. This banning of apps only is too little and too late, and it is only an eyewash and a headline management effort by the government and nothing else. Although we support
I want Sudesh to respond to that.
The Prime Minister is going to take.
Okay, that's a fair point. Let Sudesh respond to that. We want to see decisive action. We want to see a surgical strike. That's a word coming in from Tausif. Why not a surgical strike?
I really appreciate the clamor for action from all sections of society. Government is aware of that, and government is trying its best. Trust me, Modi ji cannot pilot Rafale and go and bomb China. Our Indian army is strong enough on the borders. Entire lineup is there. Don't worry about that. But at the same time, the government will do what it can do. People will do what they can do. Like you see, Traders Association, 7 crore traders have said that they would not take Chinese products. Government has not asked them to do. They are doing it on their own. So, for security concerns, if government decides to ban 59 apps, it would cause some difficulties, I understand, to the youth. But we must create alternatives. This is what Atmanirbhar Bharat is all about. And we are very confident. We are the best IT brains. This is said, isn't it? So we'll create those things. Well, what is the thing to worry? And if they comply with the Indian norms, Indian security norms, if they put it on a server that is controlled by India, not by China, then there should be no problem. And we expected the Chinese to invest in manufacturing, not in these apps and all those kinds of things, which India can also do.
Okay, let me bring in Priyanka Dev as well. Priyanka Dev, the question that's being asked is this, that if there is concern being expressed about certain apps, about the issues of privacy, then what about certain other apps? Politically, that's a question that's being, or a charge that's being leveled rather, by Prithviraj Chavan. How do you look at it, Priyanka?
You say other apps, do you mean the other apps that are banned?
Specifically, a Namo app. That's a question that has been raised by Prithviraj Chavan. He says that if there are privacy concerns about these apps, then about the Namo app also, he raises this concern. Is that a fair point to make at a time when you are looking at a peculiar context and a situation that exists vis-a-vis China and these 59 apps?
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to clarify before I answer to the Namo app. The Namo app is not a it's been around. It's like that is a threat to national security because where you go. This is meant for safety. Now we have to look at the recent events that happened. The worst sort of conflict and casualty in decades. So it's worrisome.
I'm sorry, Priyanka, there's a problem with that audio line. We can't quite get very clearly what you're saying. We will try and rectify that connection, but I want to quickly get a response from Sarah Shailim. Sarah Shailim, Priyanka Dev says, and also to an extent Sudesh Verma says, it's an unfair comparison because where is the threat to national security or data security from the Namo app? Your response?
See, the government itself has been very ambivalent. You know, what we get to hear is that this is not a complete ban per se. It is an interim ban, and where there'll be various committees formed within the ministries, and these apps will get an opportunity to give their side of the story, to explain and also respond to the government's concerns before, committee or before different committees of various ministries. So we need to, the citizenry of India needs to know whether it's a complete ban or which is an interim ban which is being used just as a cover-up, just for usage jingoism and
Okay.
just as an eyewash.
All right. So that's the charge of the opposition, that there is jingoism being used, that this is all part of a larger design that's to deflect from what is happening at the border. But I think I'll leave it to our viewers to decide really which side is right. Is this decisive action of the government justified? That's opposition that says it's not. The government, of course, says that this is very much part of its strategy to deal with China. Thank you so much to all our guests for joining us. We're going to slip into a very quick break. More updates on the other side. All right, shocking video emerges from Bellary in Karnataka, where 8 people have lost their lives to COVID-19. Officials are seen throwing the mortal remains into a pit. An inquiry was ordered into this incident. Let's go across to Deepak, who's joining us for more on that. Deepak, extremely shocking pictures. Take us through what exactly has transpired and what really does this inquiry say?
Madhav, firstly, Bellary had a lot of bad news coming with 9 COVID deaths in a single day. And after that, this video that went viral, of course, sent chills down the spine of everybody who saw it, because these were mortal remains of the patients who died due to COVID-19. Of course, standard operating procedure does not allow the family to be present for the final rites, but this is not what they would have imagined. The packed in body bags, you can see the personnel who are employed there throwing them into these burial pits. And it was quite unfortunate, of course, that a video was made and circulated. But after which the district administration took note of it. They inquired into the matter. Now they're saying that the entire team that was involved has been disbanded and a new team has been formed. The question really is, for such an inhumane act, whether just, the disbanding the team, is that sufficient, or should more action be initiated against these people, is a question that emerges.
All right, Deepak, we'll leave it there and we'll see what action is eventually taken as far as the officials in charge of that. Slipping into a quick break for now. More updates, just a few moments. Stay tuned. In a massive pro-poor announcement, Prime Minister Modi today, clearly laying out his priorities as India battles COVID, has announced the extension of the Pradhan Mantri Ann Yojana. This is till the end of November. Now, this comes as a big relief for over 80 crore Indians who will now get free ration in this time of crisis.
अनलॉक 2 में प्रवेश कर रहे हैं और हम उस मौसम में भी प्रवेश कर रहे हैं जहां सर्दी, जुकाम, खांसी, बुखार, ये सारे न जाने क्या क्या होता है, ये मामले बढ़ जाते हैं। ऐसे में मेरी आप सभी देशवासियों से प्रार्थना है कि ऐसे समय अपना ध्यान रखिए। पहले हम मास्क को लेकर, 2 गज की दूरी को लेकर, 20 सेकंड तक दिन में कई बार हाथ धोने को लेकर बहुत सतर्क थे। लेकिन आज जब हमें ज्यादा सतर्कता की जरूरत है, तो लापरवाही बढ़ना बहुत ही चिंता का कारण है। साथियों, लॉकडाउन के दौरान बहुत गंभीरता से नियमों का पालन किया गया था। अब सरकारों को, स्थानीय निकाय की संस्थाओं को, देश के नागरिकों को फिर से उसी तरह की सतर्कता दिखाने की जरूरत है। विशेषकर कंटेनमेंट जोन्स, उस पर तो हमें बहुत ध्यान देना होगा। एक और बड़ी बात है जिसने दुनिया को भी हैरान किया है, आश्चर्य में डुबो दिया है, वो ये कि कोरोना से लड़ते हुए भारत में 80 करोड़ से ज्यादा लोगों को 3 महीने का राशन यानी परिवार के हर सदस्य को 5 किलो गेहूं या चावल मुफ्त दिया गया। इसके अतिरिक्त प्रति परिवार हर महीने 1 किलो दाल भी मुफ्त दी गई। साथियों, आज मैं इसी से जुड़ी एक महत्वपूर्ण घोषणा करने जा रहा हूं। साथियों, हमारे यहां वर्षा ऋतु के दौरान और उसके बाद मुख्य तौर पर कृषि क्षेत्र में, एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर में ही ज्यादा काम होता है। अन्य दूसरे सेक्टरों में थोड़ी सुस्ती रहती है। जुलाई से धीरे धीरे त्योहारों का भी माहौल बनने लगता है। अब आप देखिए, अभी 5 जुलाई को गुरु पूर्णिमा है, फिर सावन शुरू हो रहा है, फिर 15 अगस्त आएगी, रक्षाबंधन आएगा, कृष्णा जन्माष्टमी आएगी, गणेश चतुर्थी आएगी, ओणम होगा, और आगे जाएं तो काटी बिहू है, नवरात्रि है, दुर्गा पूजा है, दशहरा है, दीपावली है, छठी मैया की पूजा है। त्योहारों का ये समय जरूरतें भी बढ़ाता है, खर्च भी बढ़ाता है। इन सभी बातों को ध्यान में रखते हुए ये फैसला लिया गया है कि प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण अन्न योजना का विस्तार अब दिवाली और छठ पूजा तक, यानी नवंबर महीने के आखिर तक कर दिया जाएगा। यानी 80 करोड़ लोगों को मुफ्त अनाज देने वाली ये योजना अब जुलाई, अगस्त, सितंबर, अक्टूबर, नवंबर में भी लागू रहेगी। सरकार द्वारा इन 5 महीनों के लिए 80 करोड़ से ज्यादा गरीब भाई बहनों को हर महीने परिवार के हर सदस्य को 5 किलो गेहूं या 5 किलो चावल मुफ्त मुहैया कराया जाएगा। और साथ ही प्रत्येक परिवार को हर महीने 1 किलो चना भी मुफ्त दिया जाएगा। साथियों, प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण अन्न योजना के इस विस्तार में 90,000 करोड़ रुपए से ज्यादा खर्च होंगे। और अगर इसमें पिछले 3 महीने का खर्च भी जोड़ दें तो ये करीब करीब 1.5 लाख करोड़ रुपया हो जाता है। अब पूरे भारत के लिए हमने एक सपना देखा है। कई राज्यों ने तो बहुत अच्छा काम भी किया है। बाकी राज्यों पर भी हम आग्रह कर रहे हैं कि इसको काम को आगे बढ़ाएं। और काम क्या है? अब पूरे भारत के लिए एक राशन कार्ड की व्यवस्था भी हो रही है। यानी एक राष्ट्र एक राशन कार्ड, 1 नेशन 1 राशन कार्ड। इसका सबसे बड़ा लाभ उन गरीब साथियों को मिलेगा जो रोजगार या दूसरी आवश्यकताओं के लिए अपना गांव छोड़ करके कहीं और जाते हैं।
The opposition, however, has been poking holes in the Prime Minister's announcement.
प्रधानमंत्री देश को एड्रेस किए हैं और कहा क्या? चीन के बारे में एक लफ्ज जिक्र नहीं किए जब हमारे जवानों का लाश घर पहुंच रहा है। और माइग्रेंट लेबर को आपने खाना खिलाया? कितना खाना खिलाए? मैं दिखा सकती हूँ कि हमारे वर्कर, मैं खुद, हम कितने लाखों लोगों को हमने खाना खिलाए, तरकारी भी दिए, दाल भी दिए, नमक और मिर्च के पाउडर भी दिए, ताकि कुछ बना के खा सकते हैं। दिवाली तक त्योहार हम कब मनाएंगे? जब हमारी पेट भरा हुआ है, जब हमारे हाथ में पैसे हैं। दोनों नहीं हुआ है। प्रधानमंत्री जी, आपकी गिनती में कहीं खोट है।
ওনারা বলেছেন নভেম্বর পর্যন্ত কোনটা, যেটা 5 কেজি করে দিচ্ছেন ওরা, মানে ওইটা 5 কেজি করে দেওয়াটা, ওই যেটা আর কি এফসিআই, যেটা আমাদের চালটা ভালো চাল, আমরা চাষিদের থেকে নিই, ওদের চালটা ফুড এফসিআই থেকে নেয়, ওদের চালের কোয়ালিটিটা খারাপ। আমাদের চালের কোয়ালিটি আমি আপনাদের আগেও বলে দিয়েছি যে আমরা আগামী সেপ্টেম্বর পর্যন্ত, ইতিমধ্যে আমাদের অ্যানাউন্স করা আছে যে আমাদের এই 3 মাস আমরা 5 কেজি করে দিয়েছি চাল, আর এই 3 মাস আমরা চাল এবং আটা দুটোই দেবো, কারণ অনেকে আছে, অনেকে আবার আটা খেতেও পছন্দ করেন। আর ওনারা নভেম্বর পর্যন্ত করেছেন, তো আমি এটা আগামী বছর জুন মাস পর্যন্ত বাড়িয়ে দিলাম, ফ্রি রেশন আগামী বছর জুন মাস পর্যন্ত বাড়িয়ে দিলাম, যাতে লোকে দুটো খাদ্য খেতে পারে। ওনারা আজ देवें काल देवें ना।
प्रधानमंत्री जी से बहुत सारी उम्मीदें थी, जैसे हम लगातार विपक्ष के कई दल कह रहे हैं कि आप नॉन इनकम टैक्स पेइंग फैमिली को 7,500 से 8,000 रुपए कम से कम 4 महीने तक दीजिए, ताकि इसका असर कंजम्पशन पैटर्न पे हो और डिमांड सप्लाई का जो फ्लैट कर्व है उसमें थोड़ी हरकत हो। एक और भी चीज जो बहुत परेशान हम सबको कर रही है, सरहद पे जो हालात हैं, आपने ऐप बैन करके एक सिंबॉलिज्म प्रदर्शित किया, लेकिन देश को सिंबल से ज्यादा मैं समझता हूं कि जरूरत थी आज के दिन में कि 4 कदम आगे बढ़ करके आप बताते प्रधानमंत्री जी कि क्या हालात हैं सरहद पे, चाइना कितना अंदर है, निगोसिएशन का स्तर क्या है।
Right, we're slipping into a quick break for now. More updates coming up in just a few moments. Stay tuned. Welcome back. There's a massive development in the Tuticorin probe. Times now has accessed the biggest clincher, the most glaring proof of how the cops have tried to cover their murder trail. Times now has accessed the judicial magistrate's report, which says that the CCTV footage at the police station has been erased. Also, the Madras High Court said that a woman constable who gave her statement should be given security, as she was in great fear while talking to the magistrate. Let's go across to Shabir, who joins us for more on this. Shabir, these are some extremely shocking observations that are coming in as far as the reports of various courts are concerned.
Well, that's right. There is a judicial magistrate probe that was ordered by the Madras High Court, and the cops did everything possible to subvert that particular probe from happening. And on Sunday at the Satakulam police station, the judicial magistrate and his court officers were threatened, were intimidated, were subject to some kind of harassment. They were preventing witnesses from signing the document or even talking to the judicial magistrate. So all of it has been put in the form of a report, based on which the Madras High Court has initiated criminal contempt proceedings against the ADSP, the DSP, and a constable called Maharajan, who was literally making abusive remarks against the judicial magistrate who was present there for an inquiry. So this clearly goes to show that the cops want to cover up this entire matter, because one proof after another is just exposing their lies. The proof and evidence against the cops that they were responsible for this custodial murder is overwhelming, and the state has just transferred this case to the CBI. But the court does not want to take any kind of chances here, because these cops are trying desperately to destroy all evidence that can indict them in this particular case. So the court wants a CBCID probe to begin immediately, and it has also started. And once the probe is complete, once the probe is halfway through, the CBI will take over. So that is what the Madras High Court has done now.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us, Shabir, with that update. Now let's take a quick look at some other news.